Hello and welcome back to the Football Tourist YouTube channel, where today you find me in very southern Somerset in the town of Yeovil, where Yeovil Town, who are currently plying their trade in the National League, are hosting Southend United, who of course are from a city, so it's a town hosting a city side, not that that particularly matters. But been a long time actually, I feel, since I last went to a National League game. It sort of manages to evade me a little bit. I either go higher or lower generally, but it's obviously a very good standard of football in itself, but I feel like the prices are they're not quite reflective of the level. I don't think you can go to a lot of league games for less than the National League standard price these days, which is very off-putting for me as well, but all the same. Yeovil are a very interesting story. They've had a very turbulent recent years. When I started following football, they actually had a little brief stint in the Championship, but are now finding themselves in the 5th tier, as I already mentioned. I actually saw them, I think it was 2 seasons ago, the year that they won the National League South, which is of course the 6th tier of English football, but the Glovers have been on a decent run of form since then, or at least they managed to get up to the National League and establish themselves there, and it's now their 2nd season back in the top flight, although currently sat 18th in the league, so it's not going amazingly well the 2nd season, whereas Southend are currently in the playoff places. So in theory, an away win should be on the cards, but this is football, and that is simply not how football works. So join me as I have a little look around. I believe it's pronounced Huish Park, not Huish Park, as my brain wants to call it, and almost certainly will at least once in this video. So apologies in advance for that. But yes, Huish Park, which I can just now see in the distance. Let's get inside and see what it's all about. Also, I had a little potter around Yeovil, the town itself. Didn't think an awful lot of it, if I'm honest, but it was a lovely church. And yeah, the Christmas lights were up, and I thought that was particularly interesting because one of them said that the Christmas lights were provided by YTFC, Yeovil Town Football Club. So yeah, it does really seem to be the only thing that's happening around here is the football team. So hopefully for all the people of Yeovil, they can turn their form around and start doing a bit better in the coming years. Anyway, let's see if they can win today. So behind the goal, which I'm presuming is the main home end, there is like a fan park where people are drinking their beers and eating their food. So it seems to be the place to hang out. So I'm wondering how much is actually facility-wise inside the stadium. I haven't got to that bit yet, but there's no interlude to say that really. So, this being a non-league game, I thought I could just rock up at the turnstile and buy a ticket, but I actually had to go to a ticket office to get a physical ticket, which I guess is quite cool in a way. Good job I wasn't in a rush, that's all I'm saying, because I'd have been a bit annoyed. So as you can probably tell from the setup, it's very much a team that has been in the leagues in the past. It's sort of a league club in waiting really. Like, I've been given a ticket with a seat number, but there's no one like to tell you where to go. But essentially they are ready to do that as soon as they do eventually, if they ever make their way back into the Football League, which I'm sure they will sooner rather than later, although it probably won't be this season. But yeah, lots of good hospitality all around the back of the stand that I'm in. But I think what's interesting is, above all else, there's a little bit of an organised, I don't know if it's a protest or sort of like a sign of solidarity throughout certainly steps 1, 2 and 3 of non-league today, this obviously being step 1, insisting on the 3 up, 3 down implementation in the English Football League system. At the moment, the 2 teams go down and 2 teams go up from League 2 to the National League, and obviously vice versa, but all non-league sides are in the promotion for a 3rd side to go down and up every year to sort of free up the table a little bit, because I feel like there is a little bit of stagnation in League Two, and sides that are sort of butting their heads at the top of the National League, and probably have seasons where they deserve to go up but can't, because if you don't win the league, you've got to get in the playoffs. And as York City last season will testify, it ain't that easy. So yeah, this game will be kicking off at 3 minutes past 3 rather than 3 o'clock, as it normally would, in association with the 3 up, 3 down. Now the mayor's coming out. Does look like a decent turnout from both teams. At least Southend, there's not a short journey for them from Essex to here, but a couple hundred have made the journey at least. Very well seen out minute silence, which of course we love to see. And now on to the football. Oh, false start. Not going to lie, it's not been the best start to this game. I feel like I haven't been to a proper good game in a long time. What sort of defending was that? Really am struggling to see how Yeovil are going to score at the moment. Their possession play is really slow and they've got no pace up front at all. Even though their line is being led by Josh Sims, who did have a couple of appearances for Southampton in the Premier League. Since then he's played in the MLS, Ross County in the Scottish Premiership, and then sort of come back to England to play in some non-league. So you would have thought there'd be a bit of quality there, but certainly yet to see it today. Well, since I've said that, Yeovil have really come to life. They nearly gave a goal away at the other end, and then have had some really good opportunities. Suddenly this match is coming to life a little bit. Well, after a pretty dull first 20 minutes, the game really came into life and ended really well. I kind of didn't want the half to end as much as I did need a win, which I think says a lot, to be fair. These sides, of course, have both been league clubs in the past, and I've been to Roots Hall as well, and that's definitely a league ground in its own right. So yeah, hopefully this is, I mean, this has certainly had quality at times. And I think the fan bases certainly deserve to be higher up in the league than they are in the stadium. So I guess it's just a question of when rather than if they return.
Those numbers for you again.
In the end, very enjoyable game.
305
despite the goals,
and 70.
lack thereof.
You are today's winners.
We can
Please go through the top.
Back on the way, and I got a steak, pasty, and a bottle. So it's a very beefy second half. Let me have some goals. Witness one of the best saves I've ever seen on the Yeovil keeper. Southend really should be ahead at the start. They made it to the second half. The hour mark has come and gone, and despite this game being pretty watchable the longer it's gone on, it would be nice to have a couple of goals. Can you get the floodgates open already? One of the Yeovil staff, might even have been the manager, just stacked it trying to fetch the ball. The Shrimpers have really been knocking on the door in the second half. It does feel like an away winner is coming. Though Yeovil still a bit of threat of their own, so let's see. Or far more likely it stays as it is. We'll see. Attendance has just been announced, 3,060. Very impressive indeed. I'm sure the fact that it's international break helps, but also I think further emphasising my point earlier that this could easily be a Football League game. Obviously wasn't the prettiest goal, but I feel like that had been coming, to be fair. Southend in the second half definitely were the better side and the more likely to score the longer the game went on. And yeah, just had like been turning the screw in the last few minutes. So yeah, they finally take the lead. Very watchable game. Could have had even more than the one goal that it did have. But yeah, I think the right result in the end. At about 5 minutes of regular time left to play, the man of the match was given to the Yeovil goalkeeper, which I think spoke volumes. Not only that he played very well, scored some unreal saves, but also that the team pushing to win this game and have the shots definitely was Southend. And those 500 odd travelling fans go home very happy. And yeah, amazing. They look like they're having a lot of fun in that away end right now, and yeah, I kind of wish I was a Shrimp right now, Shrimper even. But yeah, as for Yeovil, their fans were brilliant. The ones behind in that Baptist stand over there were unreal throughout the game, just supporting their team throughout with their drummer. And And yeah, I really enjoyed my time here at Huish Park. It's a bit shame to see that it didn't quite go the way that it could have done, but that's football, unfortunately. I still hope that they'll stay up and be okay, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Well, that's it from me, from Huish, whichever way it's pronounced, Park. Thank you very much as ever for watching, and until next time, goodbye.